Good morning. How are you all today? Well, actually, I guess it's afternoon. Here it is, but I know on the West Coast is morning. But anyway, what I'm doing here today is I wanted to show you my projects that I'm working on. For the past couple of days, after we just finished the quilt, I had talked to you and I had shared with you that my next thing was I was going to make a water bottle bag, and this is the one I showed you, and it has the pocket in front with for the debit cards, and you can put your iPhone in here, and you can put your water bottle in here. And this is the water bottle. It's made for this one because my friend that wanted one of these bags, she wanted one for a large water bottle. So this is a pretty large. This is, I don't know, 32 ounce maybe, but it's a large one. And I had made this one with 2 zippers. And anyway, so we got to talking, and she decided she didn't want this particular type of water bottle bag. She didn't like how the zipper went. And so then I came across another one that is like this. What it has is a zipper in it that goes across, and instead of your and these straps go up this way, so your water bottle would sit right in here like this. Okay, let's see if you can get that. I I just made a copy of this. So anyway, from there, I decided I would try to make a pattern, and she really liked this. So I figured I would try to make a pattern. So I did, and what I do is I use, obviously paper, and I draw. I drew, or I made a copy. How about that word? I made a copy. I also wrote down directions of how I was going to put it together as I was putting it together. But in any case, so I had made patterns to recreate that bag, the bag that she wants, and by looking at this, and plus I'm using some of the patterns from the other bag that I had just made, and I'm not going to get rid of that bag. It's just that she wanted a different one, a different style with the flat pocket that goes across, so I made a new pattern for it. And so this is the pattern that I'm using, and so that's just the whole bag. Now, the bag is actually like 17 inches long. Let me look at my notes here. And of course this isn't, but I just add on to it the length. It is actually, hopefully I put it in my notes, 16.5 inches. I would put 17, so because you're sewing, but it's 17 inches long, and that's because for a big bottle. And then for the front pocket, like you've seen here, so this is a panel here, so this is panels on both sides of the panel, and then this is a panel, this is a panel, and this is a panel, which has actually, there's 3 layers in here. And then of course you have your zipper. So looking at that, I made up just a rectangle for the square, for the pocket, okay? So this, this right here is a panel. It goes to the front where the pocket zipper is. And then this attaches to that like this. And then this attaches like this. I know it's a little narrow, but you know, you could, I have to remake it, but it's a little narrow. I think it actually does. I don't know where my original is, but actually it's over there underneath the tripod. But I do have another one that goes under here, but it's similar to this, but as wide as these. And then of course you have your zipper. So each one of these are numbered. This is one piece, and actually, yeah, so this is one piece, and then the top part of the pocket is another piece. And let's see, and this is the zipper you would use. I mean, you can use any color zipper you want, but I use this. So this is the zipper, and then the bottom piece would go like that. Okay, so I made one up, and it's not as long as I want it to be, because yesterday or the night before I just could not sleep. I don't know about you guys, but it's like my son asked me if I'd be willing to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, or go with him at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm really not a morning person. I prefer sleeping in, because I don't go to sleep till 1 o'clock in the morning. So you know, so I don't, 8 o'clock is a killer for me. And then when he asked me, I just, I couldn't sleep all night. So I was awake most of the night, and then plus looking at the clock. But fortunately, before I went to bed that night, I told my husband about my son asking me to go, and he goes, you know, I'll go. I said, really? And he goes, yeah. So so I woke up at 7, got him up, and then, you know, he went on, and that was a lifesaver to me. Although I was I was so tired yesterday. Okay, so I made this. Now, like I said, this is just a prototype, and it's not very long. And the reason is because I messed up on the box corners down here. So it would have been like this longer, okay? And I didn't want to just throw it away. I decided I would just turn it into a hip pocket, or it can still be a crossbody bag, just a smaller one. And but this is the pocket I was talking to. So this is the front part, which was this, okay? So that would go there. And then this part is right here, and it's right here. And then the zipper, and then the pocket. And the pocket, I also made a credit card pocket holder. I don't think you can see it. It's a hard thing to see in here. Well, maybe I can pop it out, I don't know. But it's a credit card holder. So like, for instance, if you have a debit card, this Amazon card, is a debit card, you can put your debit cards in here like that. I'll put it like this so you can see it. But anyway, it's a debit card holder, or your license. So I was thinking this would be a good idea. Like, let's say if you go to the market, you know, like Saturday market, buy your veggies, right? And you want to take a small bottle of water with you, you could stick it in here. It's another pocket right here. I mean, this one obviously is too big, right? I mean, you could use that, most definitely, if you want to. But you know, like, let's see, I have another water bottle over here. Excuse me 1 second, I just saw it, so I'm gonna grab it. And, okay, so like this one, you could put in there, and you don't see it. Okay, so you have your water bottle in there. You can put your debit card, your license, And there's another pocket here that goes pretty far down, so you could probably put a phone in there. Yeah, so there's like 1, 2, 3. So there's two pockets for debit card and license. And then you can put your cell phone in there or whatever, right? Or in here with your water bottle, whatever. And then you can wear this, you can hook this up to your belt loops on your jeans. Or you can use your strap. And now this is a crossbody strap, and I'm making one here right now to go with this bag. And it's right here. I've glued it, so I have this awesome glue. So if you ever decide to make your own, this is a fabric tack. And I was watching this guy on YouTube video, of course. I should write YouTube across, because that's all I watch is YouTube now, right? And he was using this to glue leather. And it bonds fabrics, lace, glass, leather, wood trims. It doesn't stink. It doesn't have an odor. And it works so good. And so what I do is when I make these, I just put glue on them. I was sewing them, but this stuff works so well, I don't think you have to sew. I do use these sometimes on them. I'll glue it and then I'll push these in. So that'll take up for the sewing. You don't have to sew it. You can use these if you like. Okay, so I use that. And so my thing is, with this, I mean, it's just glue. I'm gluing it right now, so I don't want to put too much weight on it. But this is large enough to go around my waist. I'm getting to be a pretty big girl, unfortunately. Hopefully I can change that. But anyway, this can go around your waist, or it can be a crossbody bag. And I tried it on, and it looks really cute on. So like I said, you know, you go to the farmer's market, and you are, oops, what was that? Okay, and so like this, see? I have it big because I'm working on it right now. It's gluing. I don't want to really mess with it because, you know. But anyway, so this could be a belt. It could be your crossbody bag. Whatever. And it's just a small purse. And I thought, well, why, you know, like yesterday when I was working on this poor bag and I was trying, and I thought, well, I'm just going to turn it into a hip pocket bag. I've seen them. I think they're really cute. I think it's a cute idea. In fact, I was talking to my oldest sister, and I was thinking of making something like this for her son. I mean, he's old like us, you know. I mean, not as old as me, but he's an adult. But he likes to go hiking in the woods. And I thought, you know, and she said, oh, he never brings a bottle of water or anything with him. So I thought, why not make him some kind of water bottle bag? And it wouldn't be a girly one or anything. I have some camouflage fabric, and I figured I would make it out of camouflage, so it's more of a guy thing. And then either he can make it so he can use it as a crossbody bag, or he can attach it to his belt. Yeah, so that's my plan. I don't know if I'm going to put a pocket in it, because I don't think guys would use the pocket, you know, like us women do. You know, because they have pockets in their jeans, and I mean, so do we, but you know what I mean. So this is, it's fully lined. I love this fabric. I don't know what it is. I like weird fabrics, but I really love this fabric. It's just really pretty. It's got maroon and gold little dots all over it. It's like a paisley print. Just really, really pretty, and I really like it. It's different, you know, different oranges and pinks and all that jazz. It's pretty cool. And so I use that as the lining, And then I used this maroon fabric, which kind of has like stripes running through it, you know. It actually looks kind of like tie-dyed or something. Or, I don't know. I don't know what they did. Maybe they dyed it and then they wrinkled it or something to get lines of the dark of the dye running through with the light. I just love that. I don't. I just love it. Guess who's gonna keep this bag? Anyway, so like I said, I think this would be perfect if you were going to the market, like say, you know, and you want to be hands-free, and you want to, and you're carrying bags, you know, with grocery bags or whatever, and you're getting your lettuce and your beans and, you know, your onions or whatever. This would be hands-free. Plus, you still have a pocket here with a zipper where you can protect your cards and your license, and you also have a place to put water or whatever else you want. So, yeah. I haven't decided, you know, if I'm going to sell these. I don't know. You know, if people are interested, I can. And I have no clue what I would sell them for at this point. But it's a great idea. I've seen a lot of them, so that's what that one is. And but I am planning on making a camouflage one in a few. I had cut out this fabric to make it, but I'm not going to put a zipper in it, like I said, because, you know, guys bring their wallets and that sort of thing. So mainly all this is going to do is carry a water bottle. And I think when I first started cutting this out, it was the old pattern. So I'm going to have to recut it to make it the new pattern, because that water bottle over there looks like this when you cut it out. And that one is like this. Or like this, like that. So, in any case, yeah, so that's where I am on that. And then I thought I'd just use a little plaid to line it with it, you know. I don't know what guys like, but I thought camouflage would be cool, especially if he's, you know, hiking around in the woods and stuff, you know, and it kind of, he'll blend in. Or maybe I should make it bright orange just in case they're out shooting, you know, because people are hunting. That's another thought. I could make it bright orange. Actually, this is another great thought. I could make it orange on one side and camouflage on the other. That's awesome. I'm glad I came up with that idea. Oh, by the way, I'm really happy. I looked today and I have 900 viewers. And I have 37 subscribers. I am so happy and I appreciate it, and thank you so much. Not only that, I've had 2 people comment. Now I feel like I'm actually reaching out to you guys, that you guys are actually watching me. And that makes me feel really happy. You know, I've only been doing this for 3 months. And like anything we do, it does take work. But I just enjoy this so much. Just reaching out to you and talking and sharing what I do and the things I love to do. So, getting back, and thank you again. I really appreciate it. And, you know, just like I said before, if you like my program, you like my YouTube videos, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, doesn't cost you a thing. Ring the bell, leave a comment if you can. Some people, I think, watch theirs on their phone or their computers. They watch their programming, or on YouTube, and then, or like me, since or some people watch YouTube, but they didn't know that they can sign up for YouTube. So you can get the YouTube app on your phone or your computer. Some TVs have it normally right in it, you know, on their, they can just watch it through another network. Yeah, so like for me, since I already have a channel, I'm signed up, but I do have a channel, I can hook my phone that I'm recording on right now to my TV, and then I can communicate that way. So there's different ways of doing it, and if you ever do want to leave a message, there's a few ideas, and maybe you know more than I do. And also I want to share with you now, like a couple videos back, I was talking about different my different quilts that I had made, and I would point up here, and of course you couldn't see it, right? So I just wanted to let you see what I was talking about. Well, each time, like this is the one we just finished, and so I remember this is the one we finished. Hope you can see that kind of, and this is the back. So what I do is I will take pictures of them, and then I put them in these plastic sheets, and I put it in this binder here. So I can kind of look back and share with you all about my quilts I make. And it's something, you know, good to keep for years down on the road when maybe a family member will end up with this book and they can look back. So this is a quilt that I made for my niece. I hope you can see that. This is how it looks. It, you know, it actually is a lot brighter than it looks like in this. And it is called Sidewalk. Or it's either Sidewalk or Walking Path. I can't remember, but it's supposed to be like you know, the brown as you're walking down the path, and each square, each larger square with the four is like gardens or whatever. But I kind of thought it would be cool to name it Garden Path, because to me it's like, you know, when you go to there's a garden in Oregon, northern Oregon, is called Rosecroft Gardens, and it's like this, you know, the gardens are laid out like this. Although it does have a fishing pond. I didn't add the pond. But it's kind of laid out like this. And I'm sure you've all gone through gardens like that where it's kind of laid out. And that's where I kind of thought that this would be cool. I'll turn it this way. Cool idea for a garden or a garden path. So, excuse me. So that's the one one of them I was talking about. And I don't remember what I was talking about, but anyway, that's it. It was just squares. I think I used, well, this was a pattern that I saw somebody do one similar to this, not in my colors, obviously, but I liked it. And so I was when I talked to my niece, you know, what colors do you like? And first it was kind of like just nature's colors. And so I was thinking, and so I was kind of thinking like sands and grays and that sort of thing. And then she told me she likes lavender. And I said, okay, well, that's easier. And so I found, and she says, plus it's got to be child-proof because she's got kids. And kids, you know, have a tendency of spilling stuff on things. So anyway, so the brown for the sidewalk, it was like, it looks like somebody got water on it. It's water stained fabric. In fact, my husband goes, you know, that fabric's got water stains on it. And I said, I know, that's the way they make it. And he goes, really? And I said, yeah. And I figured that would be appropriate, you know, water stained fabric, right? And so then, yeah, so I just went with purples and lavenders and stuff. So the colors eventually, she's just do whatever you want. So I came up with this. Never made this before, but it was pretty easy. But I had to figure it out. Figure it out. I looked at the pattern and drew it out on graph paper and went with it. And hope and prayed it turned out. And it did. Okay, so this is my sister's quilt I made her. I know I've showed some of these before, but this is my sister's log cabin quilt, and she likes green, so I made it for her, and her husband goes, boy, it's really green. I said, I know, she wanted green. Okay, so like I said, I've shown a lot of these already. I've showed, let's see, my granddaughter's quilt, Madison's quilt. I've showed you this before, and this is another picture of her dog Gizmo that I embroidered. I'll show you a close-up on that one. I don't think I showed you that yet. And I was telling you about the design that I came up with for the quilt, which was the Flying Goose quilt. Okay, so this is Gizmo. And that's what I embroidered. Never done it before. But I figured I could do it, you know. My girlfriend goes, I don't know, Joan, if you never done it before. I said, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm gonna try it. So I started off with a hoop, you know. I took, I have these transfer pins, and I had a picture of Gizmo, and I made a copy of it and made it bigger, and then I outlined it on I didn't have light boards then, so I just outlined it on tissue paper, and then I turned it over and ironed it and transferred it onto some off-white flannel, and then I put it on the embroidery in an embroidery hoop, and then I just got a bunch of embroidery threads. So this particular picture, they were at a parade. It was a 4th of July parade, and he was wearing, or she, I think it's a she, was wearing like a red, white, and blue sweater, and she was in the parade along with everybody else. So I thought that would be a cute one, and she just absolutely loves it. In fact, that picture is at the very top of the quilt. And so every time she snuggles down into her quilt, Gizmo is right next to her heart. So I thought it was pretty cool. And the Flying Goose pattern, let me see here. I'm not really, let's see, is that the one I want? I think that's the one I want. Let me look through this real quick. When I was looking for, let's see, I don't know if this is the one. Yeah, I think this is it. Okay. I have a lot of stuff here that I'm working on, and we will be working on. But I wanted to show you, because I did come across the Flying Goose pieces that I made. When you make a quilt like this, you always end up making extra, which is a cool thing, because if you're going to go and you're sharing it, you'll have them to share. I just need to find it. Anyway, I'm coming across it here. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so all right, I'll put that back down there on the floor. Doesn't go there. Okay, so this is, let me put it upside down. This is this is the whole flying goose pattern. That's one of the diamonds, right? Yeah. And this is it. So as you can see, it's all triangles. And so I was able to, I made 4 of these. So this is, this is made out of flannels. And the priority for this quilt was soft. And so I used Minky and I used the flannels. And then I wrote down all the things that she likes. She loves her dogs. She would like to be a veterinarian or a dog trainer when she grows up. She, she likes to surf. She loves gymnastics. She's got, she's soccer, all the things that she's into, skiing, everything. And then I took her most favorite things that and it was like 8 of them. I had to break down the category. There was a lot of things that she's done. So anyway, I decided to, when I saw the flying goose, I thought, okay, I'm going to make them up and I'm going to work on them and try to, and I didn't know. But then I thought, oh, if I turn it this way and I turn this one this way, it could be a star. And then if I add 4 more together, like separate them and then put a picture in the middle, then it could be, a star, and one could be a diamond. So that's what I did. And I have these work boards here, and I would just lay them up there, and then I'd put a picture in the middle, and I thought, oh, perfect, that's what I'll do. And so, of course, yes, I have lots of these left over. I have little squares here. There are 2 rectangles sewn together to make a square, like that. And, yeah, and I would be laying these all over the board. Those boards, if you are want to think about doing sewing or quilts or crafting or whatever, these boards are a lifesaver. And what I did, now I think they get foam core, and you could do that too. I haven't done that one. But when I go to the Catholic store, I'm always in the hunt of looking for things that I can use. I had one already, and it was one of those old cardboard, back from the 50s or the 60s, I guess, layout boards. And you could cut on them, you can cut on them, you can pin on them. And they're just thick cardboard, and it has like a binding all the way around the outside of it, to make it look pretty, I guess. And it has inches on it and squares and all that. So I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 of them now. And I just hang them either rectangle or, whatever, across my walls. And they work perfect. And they really didn't cost me that much, maybe like $3. Anyway, so if you're thinking of, doing what I'm doing and putting up boards on your walls, that's the way to go. Didn't cost me much. Anyway, it's up to you, but that's what I did. And they didn't go to the landfill. They came to my bedroom or my sewing room. So here's just a square, just checking these out. I like these little dogs, and she loved them, of course. And then I had I have lots of other fabrics, but here's, and the other thing was the color. She liked turquoise or teal, and so she had several colors she liked, but she did not like pink. So, but some of the some of them have pink in it, and she was okay with that. So anywho, yeah, so I have lots of little pieces here. One of these days I'll make something else. Along with that quilt, I also made 2 pillows. One was a small throw soccer pillow out of violets. Let me see if I have the picture of it. I don't know if I do. A small, you know, pillow that sits on her bed and it has a soccer ball on it, and it was violets, or yeah, I don't know why I'm saying violet, but you know, purple, lavender, minky with a soccer ball on it. And then it was just something she could just, you know, toss around her room. It was just a pillow. And then a regular pillow that goes over the top. You know, it's like a pillow cover, and it's made just for that quilt. So anyway, anywho, I just thought it was kind of cool to add that to it. So yeah. And then this was, I had talked about this. This was her jersey that I made to put on the quilt. And then I put a star around it because their team went to champion that year. So anyway, just, yeah. So I just, if I don't, I don't go to stores. So if I need something, I just order it. And then it comes and I can sit here and make it. So I know that's bad, but that's what I do. And then I don't know if I've showed you this one. Anybody new? This is another quilt that I made. This is a log cabin quilt. And I turned it so it would look like crosses. But what it is a log cabin quilt. It's just that if you turn the blocks around, you can get different designs. And I had picked out 3 or 4 designs. This was for my girlfriend. This is for my girlfriend, Laura. And I asked her, you know, which design you like. And she says, I like the crosses. And then I thought, oh, okay. Now I get to figure it out, because I really had no idea how I was going to do it. But I figured it out eventually. You know, it took me a while up on the board, moving these around, making out a pattern from a graft. I had written out the layout of how everything was going to be laid out before I sewed it together, because it was quite complicated to keep the, you know, all the different squares and into this pattern. In fact, I got it together once and I had to take it apart. So, you know, it was quite complicated, but I got it. And then I ran out of fabrics. You know, I thought, oh, what am I going to put on the back? And so you know, some people make like 2-in-1 quilts. So I came across I had a lot of leftovers. And so what I did was I just sewed them all together like this. And they're just stripes all the way across. And she loves it, you know. She goes, it's like a 2-in-1 quilt. And then I quilted on the frame. So anyway, yeah, it came out perfect. It came out good. She really liked it. That's the only quilt I've sold. The rest of these I've given away. Anyway, this is my granddaughter's quilt. Let me put it this way. Now, this one, I didn't have my quilting frame at the time, and I wanted to use metallic threads. And my Juki wouldn't accept the metallic threads, you know. It's just a fine thread. And so since I wanted to make this kind of spacey, this is called fence post or picket fence. You know, it's funny how it is. Now, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but we're from the West Coast. And when we're building a fence, we never called it pickets. I mean, we would call it fence. I don't know what we called it, but you know, I thought, and then when you come here and move in the South, it's called pickets. And maybe it is called pickets in, you know, one of the stores. That's it was. And so, like I said, when we moved here and we were going to have a fence built, they go, oh, a picket fence? And to me, a picket fence is like one of those little white fences that your wood is pointed. You know, it kind of goes to a point, and then it's narrow going down, you know, along, you know what I mean. And so that, to me, those little white fences that you put in your yard that's really cute, to me, that's a picket fence, right? But when you put those big boards up that are like 5 by 1 and they're like 6 feet tall, that doesn't look like a picket to me. I don't know. It just doesn't gel. But anyway, it's called pickets here. And like I said, it might be there too, but anyway. Boards, fence boards. That's what I would call it. Any clue. So I used metallics, and then I also used a neon threads to quilt, and I hand quilted this one. This one also has beaded work on it. These are beaded bears that I made. And so I did a lot of bead work on it. Let me see my glasses. Bead work, a lot of hand quilting. She really liked dark purple and black. And I thought, well, how am I going to do that? How am I going to incorporate black and purple? So I had this black fabric that was spacey looking, and it was black and had stars on it. And stars, you know how they kind of gaze where you can see the light coming off of it. So I just ran with that, and I thought that would be a great background. And then I added, if she likes purple, I added lavender. I might have used a little bit of white. But the picket fence is where, to me, it's like you're looking through the picket fence. You know, if you're on the ground, you're looking through the fence, or you're standing and you're looking through between the fence posts or fence boards or the picket fence, you know, you can see through it, right? So this is like you're looking through the fence into space. And the reason why I made it this way is because her age, you know, she was 14 and she was just starting to discover life, you know, going into middle school, or she's in middle school. You know, your life is just changing then, and eventually you're going into high school, and then, you know, into the world. So the kids that age, they're just searching, and so I just added some colors, but mainly it was dark purple and black. It kind of represent her and her age. And this one right here I made for my other grandson. And there again, he just had turned 18, and he was just discovering life, and he was kind of bouncing around. And so I just kind of, and he liked blues, and these were the colors that he liked. And I thought, well, what am I going to do with this? So I built a maze. I made a maze, and I thought, you know, a maze would be cool. And before I had YouTube, I would share all these ideas with my husband. Now he doesn't get very much of it anymore. Oh, he does, but anyway, I would bounce these things off of him, you know, ideas. And he goes, I don't know, Joan. And then I'd bounce it off of my friend, and she goes, I don't know, Joan. I don't know if you can do that. I thought, anytime somebody says, I don't know if you can do that, I do it. I try to do it. So don't ever let somebody stifle you from an idea that you have, because we all have creative ideas, and everybody is so different. So just utilize what you have. And you know, I personally cannot bring something out of my head and do it. I mean, I've tried making a design, but if I see a design, I can take it from there. I mean, it's like my tree there. Okay, I wanted to do a family tree. And my daughter asked me, she goes, Mom, can you do a quilt for me? I know you can do, you know, she's in my quilts. I said, okay. And I thought, well, what about, because they wanted to incorporate pictures on it. And I said, well, what about a family tree? I said, that would be kind of cool. So I went through magazines, you know, I have a lot of quilt books over there. I went through all of them, you know, looking for family trees and different ideas. And so I came across this one, and I wasn't too, I kind of was a little leery because I've never done a collage on this scale before. Actually, I never did a collage until I did the bagel collage, and I have to redo that one because my grandson came in and was picking her nose off, and I thought, so I will show you that when it's completed, but it's just a small picture of my dog, and her name was Bagel, and she was a Labrador. And I had made a video of it, so it's after I started the bagel quilt, and then I did the bagel collage. So you can look back in one of my old videos and you can see it there. But anyway, like I said, I was so proud of it. It came out perfect. And then I invited my grandson up here, you know, he's 6 years old. I invited him up and I said, see Bagel? He says, and he goes and he peels off the nose and he goes, Grandma, dogs' nose aren't pink. Well, I hadn't ironed it down. You're supposed to iron it down, right? I hadn't ironed it down. And then, yeah, so a few things got peeled off of it. And I just like, I was so perturbed I was upset at him. But he's only 6 and he's never seen anything like that. So the curiosity, right? My fault for inviting him up here. So now when he comes up, I said, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything if you see him hanging on the board, because I still like to share with him, but he needs to understand that you can't touch that stuff. And anyway, so I had to rework it a little, and it just killed me. So I will eventually, is like one of these things where I get set aside because my brain, you know, I'm mad at myself. I was very perturbed at myself for what I did, for allowing. Anyway, so that's, yeah. Okay. And one more quilt I want to share with you that I was talking about, and this is the chevron quilt. Now, I don't have a finished picture of it, unfortunately, but this is a chevron, and I think, what did I say? It's kind of like an Azteca design of different colors. And so my grandson is kind of into this sort of thing, you know, and so I thought it'd be perfect for a quilt or a throw, not a bed quilt, but a throw. And so at Christmas time last year, I made this quilt as a throw. And so what I did was, this on the back here, I don't know if you can see that, there's lines that so I took everything off the board and I used string. I don't know if you can see that, but let me see if I have another one. So yeah, I'll have to, well, anyway, can you see that? Anyway, so what I did was, at the top is a V. See that V right there, that orange V? So I took my pens and I just marked out the V. And then I took another pin and I put it here. And what I did was I used yarn. So there's a pin here, a pin here, and a pin here. And I just put yarn down like this. And then each one of these pieces of fabric are half square triangles. So, like, okay, okay, so this right here is a half square triangle. So what I would do is cut out 5-inch squares, and then I would go from corner and cut them in half. Okay. And by drawing a graft like this, maybe if I take it out of the paper, it'll be easier to see. Sorry for moving it around. Okay, see that? So I put lines here with yarn, and I use half square triangles. And then I had a grid on here. And so as I would go down the line, I would turn my half square triangles to meet up with that line. And then this line, yeah, so it all worked out. I had to figure it out though, because I didn't really know how to do it, but I wanted to make this quilt for him. So yeah, and then my husband came along and he goes, you know, if you were to put like a washer, something heavy, a washer, heavy washer, or a weight on the end of a string at the very top, that would keep your center line straight all the way down. I said, you know, that sounds like a good idea. So I did it, and it actually helped me a lot to keep my V lined up. So this is another picture of it. That's how I kept my V straight. And then I thought, well, how far am I going to take this? You know, how far was I going to draw this out? And you know, and yeah. So anyway, he really likes the quilt. It came out really nice, and he loves it. You know, I wanted to make quilts for all my kids, my grandkids, and all my family. There's another one. This is when I was getting down to the bottom. This is the bottom V. And so I like I said, I wanted to make a quilt for all my kids, my grandkids, and my kids, and my family, my sisters, because who knows how long we have left on this earth, right? And I want something for them to remember me by. And I thought, what a nice way of doing it. Even though it's not a big quilt for your bed, this is a throw. So you can hang it on a wall, you can wrap it around you when you're watching TV, you can share it with a friend, you can throw it on the back of your your couch, you know, fold it up at the end, and know that Grandma loves you and she loves her kids, and this is the way I can share my love with you. So I thought it was a good thing. Unfortunately, I was never able to give my oldest daughter a quilt. She has passed away. But anywho, that's another story. Yeah. It was a shocker. Of course, it always is. So, yeah, so that's mainly, those are some of the quilts I wanted to share with you that I had made within the last 2 years. Not all of them are big giant quilts like I had said, but the majority of them were small quilts. And then, so I have two more big quilts right now to make after this one for my niece that lives in Florida, and one quilt for my neighbor next door. So, and they're big queen size quilts. So, yeah. And I haven't really, you know, I've thought about them. Like Alex next door, she's got, they're going to be building like a cabin. They bought some property out in the rural area, and they're going to build like a cabin. So I thought, you know, log cabin quilt. So I thought, and I have a sample here, and she really likes the sample, so I thought I'd just use that design because she has no clue. So I thought, why not? I know how to do it. And then also, for my niece, I've thought about it, maybe another log cabin quilt, only because it's easy. But I really haven't gone down that road yet with that. I'm just thinking. So this also was something I made and I shared to you a couple videos back. So I was going to share this and show you the quilts and the bags I've made. And this was just an old binder that we got from the secondhand store that cost us, you know, $1. And I made this, you know, it's one of those sample fabrics that you can get, you know, something like this, right? Let's see. Oh, like this. Well, I guess that's right, huh? Like that. Or it's got a chicken on the back, you know. Well, there's the chicken. Sorry. It's a chicken. But anyway, I have these, and either you can use those to cover your binders, or you can use them on the back of quilts, you know, because you don't use the back of the quilt. It's just, you only use the top. So anyway, anywho, that's that. So yeah, like I said, I kind of got off track, didn't I? I was gonna show you, let me see, what time is it? 1:30. Let me see how many minutes I've been talking. I don't like to go over. Okay, 50. Okay, so what I will do, my next video I make, we will make these. And I'll show you how. They're very easy, although it's taken me a couple times. In fact, every time I look at it, I think, oh, how did I do that? So I have to look at it, see how I did it. But they're really easy. Some people will just figure it out real quick. Other people, you know, like me, it takes me a couple tries, but that's how I roll, I guess. But anyway, so good talking. I appreciate you sitting and listening to me. And I don't know if you learned anything, but I just wanted to share with you of what I've been doing for the past couple of days. Tomorrow I won't be able to film because I'm going to my neighbor's daughter's wedding, so that ought to be pretty cool. But anyway, so I am going to try to get these together, make more of these, but longer ones. And I want to make the camouflaged water bag for my nephew, who is like in his 60s, which is cool. And then maybe I will use like a bright orange or something as like for, you know, like I said, when you're out in the forest and if they're out hunting, if you wear bright yellow or bright orange or something, you can see that through the bush so you don't get shot. So it might be a good idea, right? Instead of camouflage. But anywho, so it'll be reversible, put it that way. And so anyway, good talking. I enjoyed my time, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Where's my doohickey?